If you love classic cars, then Donald loves you. Hi, I'm Donald Osborne here at the Audrain Automobile Museum in Newport, Rhode Island. We're inside our exhibition, Shining Bright, Advances in Automotive Lighting, and I'm standing next to a 1948 Tucker. And we featured in our introductory video the fact that the Tucker is here in this exhibition, highlighting its Cyclops headlight. But today we're going to talk about a bit more about the car itself. The lighting is certainly important, but the car is a marvel. There probably isn't one automotive enthusiast who isn't familiar with the Tucker and the Tucker story. But I think that there's a lot about the Tucker story that some people who aren't ardent Tuckerists may not be aware. First of all, one of the things which is most important to understand about the Tucker is that there is no such thing as a production Tucker. Tucker actually never went into production with this car. All 50, or 51 depending on how you count, Tuckers completed were prototypes. With every one they did a little bit additional development, and it's really quite a sad story in that, because the Tucker prototypes, as flawed as they are really, really interesting cars, and it's really frustrating to think of what could have been if Tucker had been able to develop this car. Now, of course, a lot of this is down to Preston Tucker, the man himself, because he was really eager to make his mark on the automotive industry, and in spite of the incredibly talented engineers and designers he had around him, he pushed and rushed these very talented men to the point where it was not possible in 1948 to build anything but these prototypes. The ideas that they all had together, however, were amazing. Obviously, on the first Tucker prototype, the Torpedo, where the separate front fenders actually turned to light the way around the corner, which became the Cyclops headlight. An interesting story there, lighting, is the fact that most states, well, many states, outlawed more than 2 headlights on a car. So for those Tuckers to be sold in those states, they actually sold a cover for the central headlights, so it wouldn't be illegal. It is an interesting point that rather than bow to the laws that outlawed it in the states, he thought the people who could have it should have it. That was the mark of the man, Preston Tucker. But some of the other great ideas he had for this vehicle: the original engine to be built in-house, a flat 6 with hydraulically operated valve train, something that you see on Formula One cars. And it's absolutely an amazing thing. That didn't happen. That engine was mated to not a standard transmission, but individual torque converters at each wheel for constant drive capability. Again, something absolutely, frankly, Rube Goldberg or Jules Verne in 1947. That didn't happen. And the interesting thing is also about this car, the fact that originally he had this idea for a revolutionary new suspension, but that idea he kept. The elastomeric suspension, a rubber bonded to metal suspension, torsion bars fully independent at all wheels in 1947. Again, something that people could not imagine in a regular priced passenger car in the US. That happened. However, there were some issues with that as well. In many cases with the Tucker, technology slightly outpaced the ability to manufacture at the time. For the flat 6 engine, they ended up using a flat 6 designed for a Bell helicopter by the Air-Cooled Company. It fit beautifully in the car. Tucker engineers were happy, so Preston Tucker didn't make a contract to buy engines, he bought the company. And then, in a very Preston Tucker move, he converted this air-cooled engine to water cooling. No one could quite figure out why in a rear engine car he would do that, because the sighting of radiators and ducting would become very, very problematic, and in fact, overheating was one of the key problems with the early Tucker prototypes. One of the other things, however, which still remained constant is this incredible design, his desire to have a car that was comfortable, commodious, and safe. It had many advanced safety features: a pop-out windshield, these doors that cut up into the roof for easy exit and entry, and the famous passenger safety cell in the dashboard so that all the instruments were concentrated in front of the driver, where everything was very easily brought to hand, and there was no glove box in the dashboard. They were in the doors instead. So therefore, there was a safety cell that theoretically, with the reinforced area underneath the windshield and around the cowl, that in an impending accident, the passengers in the front could dive underneath the dashboard and save themselves from the impending crash. Now, it would be interesting, of course, today to see the owner's manual with the safety video showing how to tuck and roll into your Tucker safety cell, but that's something that never happened in the time. One of the things about the Tucker, and that few people get the chance to appreciate, is the fact that this car, as stunning as it is parked here in our gallery, really must be seen on the road and in motion. It really is quite a beautiful car. The way the curves of the design work and reflecting the light, it's something that really makes the car look as if it's a speeding bullet. And that's something, again, in 1948, there were a few cars on the road that can match the Tucker for style and presence. If you had put another badge on this car, if this had been a Packard, or if this had been a Cadillac or a Lincoln, it would have been an amazing success. And it's slightly sad, but not very surprising, that you can't start a company from scratch with so many original ideas and hope to bring it to fruition in just a short time. Granted, Tucker, of course, did win the SEC anti-fraud suit, but by then it was too late, as everybody knows, and the car was irreparably tarnished, his factory had closed, the dream was over. But it is absolutely extraordinary that the survival rate of these cars is so high and the interest remains so keen so many years afterwards. The Tucker is truly a piece of automotive history, of American automotive history and design and manufacturing brilliance. Hi, it's Donald Osborne with the answer to this week's Audrain Auto Museum Fun Fast Fact Quiz question. What custom one-off car built for Edsel Ford led to a great automotive nameplate? The answer, the Continental. After a trip to Europe in 1938, Edsel Ford came back and asked Bob Gregory, the head of design for Lincoln, to build a custom car with a European look. The result was the beautiful Continental, built in the winter of 1939. It proved so popular with Edsel Ford's neighbors in Palm Beach, Florida, that he ordered it into production that fall. Thus was born the Lincoln Continental. Thanks for watching our videos and for playing our quizzes. So long. If you like these videos, let your friends know. Subscribe, comment, share.